Hello, witches. It's Strigabella. I wanted to share kind of a personal struggle that I have struggled with throughout my life. One of my shadow kind of things that I have always had to work on. I tend to be the kind of person who allows people to guilt me and make me feel bad when I say no. So, over the course of my life, these are lessons I've had to learn the hard way many, many, many times over, because the soft heartedness in me continuously makes me want to trust people and want to believe that they really are my friends, or that they really do love me and have my best interest at heart. But unfortunately, I've had to learn the hard way, time and time again, that even people who I think are my very best friends sometimes turn out to have been Fairweather friends. And until a person is willing to face that and accept it, because it's a very hard thing to face and to accept, because oftentimes it means ending the relationship. Because with people who are Fairweather friends, if when it comes down to the point where you have to say no to them, they will withdraw their love, withdraw their friendship. And people often fear that. That's the thing that they fear the most. And especially people who are really, the bigger issue is abandonment issues. They don't want people to leave them. So I've had this throughout my life. When I was a kid, certain friends. When I was older, it was always boyfriends who I thought liked me for me, and I would get my heart broken realizing they were using me for money or for my car or something, some other thing. And over and over again, I still would feel sorry for people. And in my adult life, it still happens, even though I'm aware of it. Just recently, I had to go through a couple cycles of this with one particular person, where each time I had to say no, which most of the time, 99% of the time, when I was asked for a favor or help with something, or something that I had to give, or whatever, something I had to pay for the person or whatever, I would always do it if I could. So most of the time the answer would always be, yes, sure, I'll help you, I'll bail you out, I'll do this, I'll drive you, so it was like me putting out a lot of energy into the friendship. But the day would always come when some other thing would cause me to have to say no, and always the same thing would happen where the person could not handle it. They would say I'm not their friend, and they would end the friendship and say they're not going to talk to me anymore. And then a period would go by, and then sure enough, they would come back around, and the whole thing would start again. And they would, of course, there was an apology. Oh, sorry, we didn't, I didn't mean it. Oh, we're really good friends and all of that. We don't want to throw it away. And it would happen again. So the point of this long thing is that finally, in this last Mercury retrograde nightmare thing, of course, I noticed that these fights tend to happen with people during this Mercury retrograde. But I just decided that I don't want to be that way anymore. I want to be a strong, independent person. I don't need to depend on somebody else, and I don't need to be depended on for another person's happiness. We are responsible for our own happiness. We're responsible for fulfilling our needs and our family's needs first, before other people. So it came down to that, and it's so amazing, because I used to have this huge fear that what would happen if that relationship ended. And I've had, private spiritual talks when I'm in private about this and about my fear, of like not having friends, not having support, and that kind of thing. And but I realized today that I was blessed. I was blessed so much today. And it was like a reward for finally cutting the ties with something that was unhealthy. And my entire life today just got changed in such a positive way as a direct result of what I did. And it's just amazing. And I've been praying for a long time for this pattern of behavior in myself to change. And all I want to do is just be back to the normal, happy, functioning person that I was a few years back, before I had lost the 2 babies. Those of you who are new viewers, I had 2 premature babies within less than a year, or in about a year's time, and both of them didn't make it, and I had to have funerals and all of that. And that period of time just really wrecked me, and to the point where it's taken me a very long time to come back and to be a normal person and be able to function even. It took me a lot of energy and effort just to get out of bed every day, much less go anywhere or take a shower or any of that. So, so with this whole new house coming and me deciding to remind myself to depend on myself as a witch. Like, I need to depend on me. Nobody should have to provide me with anything. I can provide me with whatever I need now. So I also made that other video that I will upload on that topic. But that's kind of like my area of focus this spring, is to remember that I'm not only a witch at full moon or at the holidays or any of that, or when I'm doing particular things related to the craft. I'm a witch all the time. So, even in the most mundane areas of life, we can use our craft. Like finding parking spaces, making sure the donut that we like is going to be at the donut store when we get there. There's all kinds of silly things you wouldn't think you could manifest that you can. I've even manifested some pretty funky things just because it's like when it happens a lot, you kind of want to test it and see, is this just all coincidence? And it isn't. That's the coolest part. So I haven't yet got the laundry to start doing itself, or the dishes to just like be washing themselves yet, like in the Harry Potter movie, but I'm working on it. All right, guys, blessed be. Bye.